had only 360 days, and the remaining 5 were the unnamed days. The Maya believed that each year when the unnamed days arrived, the gates to the Underworld would open.
Like, I know that you guys have played some of it before, but I actually haven't. I didn't get it. This is the first time I've ever seen anything but a trailer video, so I was pretty impressed.
I got to check it out once at E3. That was the original time when I got to play it. And there we did the underwater portions, where you're kind of Laura's swimming around underwater. I guess she's got like some sort of magical breathing powers of some sort, or maybe an air pack.
No. See, like I asked that when he was showing it. I'm like, wow, she can hold her breath for a really long time. And he's like, no. She puts her mask on when she goes in the water. She has like there's like a little tiny breathing tank on her back. He's all, yeah, it's high tech, man.
And then a couple of weeks ago, I got to go and play through the beginning level, the tutorial that's in the Burning Croft Manor. What do you think about the gun combat and the special attack in this?
Well, I thought the special, I like the way that it works and how, you have the little reticle that you have to time and get in there to get it off, and it's I find it a lot more appealing than the typical bullet time stuff that we've been seeing since like the Max Payne days.
Yeah, and the cool thing is that,
over that.
Exactly, and the cool thing with this is that it's not just hitting like the special attack button and you do it. You actually have to do something. You have to pay attention and time it correctly.
Did they talk to you at all about the player tailoring stuff? It's actually, I think this is kind of the most unsung feature of the new game. I did read your most recent post on player tailoring.
Oh yeah.
And that really fascinated me because it seems to me that in the industry, it seems almost that people are taking the opposite tack, which is like, let's cut out anything that might be more complex to the user and give them sort of a default state to go with that will reach the widest space. But this seems to turn that on its head a little bit.
Yeah, well, the philosophy was actually that it's impossible to achieve a wide base by sending out only a single play experience. That by giving players the ability to tailor their experience, either by making the enemies tougher, making Lara Croft tougher, giving them more time to work with some of their abilities to climb with the architecture. Also, what you can do is send out this sonar pulse, and it builds up this mathematical model in your PDA of the space, and then you can fly through it and find stuff that maybe you couldn't find before. So all these pieces were meant to make the game more accessible to more people, because they could not only tailor the difficulty if they found it difficult or less so, but they could tailor what they wanted to do. They could say, you know what, it's not that the combat's too hard for me, it's that I just want more of the puzzles and exploration. I just want to be bothered less by tigers attacking me and whatnot. But then again, you really can't come up with a single suite of puzzles that everyone is going to be able to have the just appropriate amount of challenge and success at the end. So that's why we put in the field assistance, where you can ask Lara for a hint, for an answer, anytime you want. And if we didn't do that, we couldn't have made the puzzles nearly as deep or as complex as they are. So it really was about broadening out the game experience and letting people tweak it to provide the most access to everybody, than to try and second guess some mythical large swath of players with a single experience.
The hint system he did tell me about, and this is kind of funny because I was playing through with the developer, right? They were sitting there, and this is one of the funny things about trying to play a game like this with the developer. So I would spend 15 minutes trying to figure out this puzzle, and the whole time I'd just be like, oh god, this guy must think I'm a total idiot. He knows how to solve this. Right. But then eventually, as I'm trying to figure out one of these puzzles, he points out that there's this hint system, and it's totally optional. You just, they don't pop up hints for you. But if you're stuck on a puzzle, you can get like up to 3 different levels of hints for each area, and it'll just be based on the room you're in. It'll be Laura making an observation about the room.
A lot of the hardcore audience, when they've heard about this feature, have been it's been more controversial. But really, this is just a more powerful version of easy, medium, hard difficulty anyway, with a slant toward the kind of experience, not the difficulty of the experience. But at the same time, the one really truly controversial piece is that people can't always necessarily be trusted to resist temptation. That one of the things that's really exciting about a game is to struggle with it and come back to it. I mean, one of the things that's cool about playing Braid is that you can't figure these things out, and then when you finally do, you're successful. And how well are you able to resist that temptation? But rather than trying to second guess that, again, trying to read 2 million people's minds, we felt it was better to provide that access for them and let people be the authors of their own experience.
I really like Legend because it added a lot to the Tomb Raider franchise.
Well, fix the controls.
Fix the controls, yeah, that's a good way to put it. And then, but in this one, they seem to have added even more animations. Like they took some cues from Assassin's Creed and Uncharted, it looks like. You know, because the way that she has a lot more fluid animations when she goes from pose to pose, and I really like kind of the free climbing areas. They're not really free climbing because you can still see like the texture and the geometry, and it's like, oh, this is an area where she's going to animate like this when she's climbing sideways along a wall, you know. But it looks really cool because she puts her hands on the right handholds and she uses her feet to steady her, and she wall jumps.
Yeah,
gotta love the wall jumping.
Jumps are cool. Love wall jumps.
Yep. And then she has this this grapple, and the grapple thing is really cool because it's actually it's physics based, just like the rest of the world. He's like, you know, you can grapple a point, and then you could wrap it around something in order to, like, you know, spin it, or to, like, you know, push something off of something else.
So, like, I guess the thing that I've noticed is that all the environments that that you were shown and that I saw in some of the videos, and even the environments I saw, they were really great, like really great level design. They looked a lot of fun, and the stuff I played was a lot of fun to just jump around in. You know, like Legends, it was really great for that reason. But it's funny that you mentioned Assassin's Creed because I almost want Tomb Raider to evolve in some way and to become like, we were talking about the fact that there's no open environments in these games.
Right,
all the environments are just kind of these closed off areas, and you figure out how to navigate this area and solve this puzzle, and then you're done.
In the Mexico level, there's a part you actually get on a motorcycle and you drive down, you know, very nicely cleaned out roadways towards different areas of the level, and it was nice because it made it feel like this open thing where you're going to this temple to grab this, you're going to this temple to grab this, and then you come back to solve a puzzle in the middle. You know, it's like I say that I want these more open world and exploration things, but then I played Uncharted, and Uncharted is linear.
Yeah,
you know, it's like
true.
Point A to point B. It was just so much fun to play, and the characters were so memorable. Yeah, the Tomb Raider games have always had the set pieces, and from what we've seen so far, this is no different. It's going to have amazingly beautiful, awesome set pieces. Like the Kraken was really cool, I thought, too. That whole puzzle surrounding the Kraken looked like a lot of fun to solve. And he was saying that, you know, even moving back and forth across that room where the Kraken was, you could climb more than one way to get to where you needed to. It wasn't just like one set route.
I mean, you know, I guess we're sounding a little down on it. It still looks like it's going to be a ton of fun to play.
Yeah. Oh, I have no, like, watching the way Lara moves, she looks really, really fun to control. I mean, because I really enjoyed Legend. You know, I'm still kind of bummed that I haven't had time to download and play Anniversary.
I'm the same exact way. That's weird.
Yeah, but I really, and so this one I am totally looking forward to.
So she wanted Fancy Friday, but I was like,